4, making it simple. So this week, quick recap. Day 1, we talked about the principles of food psychology and what dynamic eating and mind-body nutrition are and how they relate to the body and how it debunks everything that is out there, right? All that misconception and all the contradictory information that is out there, and how it abides by these 3 big principles. One being everybody has a unique relationship with food and their body, and that needs to be honored, respected, and nurtured, right? Food is a doorway, so it's a way to get, move towards your body, what your body needs, and that kind of thing, right? So it's a pathway through. Food is just a doorway. It's not necessarily good or bad, right? We talked about that as well. And then number 3, your relationship with your food and your body is a great teacher. So when you are, whatever relationship you're having with your food has some kind of story, right? It has something to teach you. Hi, Tony. Welcome. And so we really dove into that this week. That was day 2, right? Okay. My phone's being weird. Don't be weird, phone. We're going to make it through this. Alright, so day 2, we really dove into that, the psychology versus the biology, and all that stinking thinking, and those things that have been incorporated into us from our childhood and from media. And then yesterday, we went into 4 things you can add right now that can really change your interaction with food. And today, we're going to make healthy food simple. Healthy living simple. All right, you ready for this? I'm ready. Shoot me an emoji if you're ready. I'm going to take a lot of drinks tonight because I'm very, very thirsty. Today was super hot. So don't mind me drinking my water. Okay, so number 1. These are 3 of my absolute favorite go-tos. They obviously aren't something you have to do all the time. Just as a full-time working mom, working 60, 70-hour weeks with 2 kids, doing side things, going to school as well. Like, I'm busy. Tend to be very busy, and so I like easy to go to meals, right? That I am highly nourished, and they don't take a lot of time to make. And so this one here, number 1, making it simple, is about time. How do you get super nutrient rich? There we go. Those are the 2 words I was going for. Kind of combined it into one word, right? Yay, a heart. Woo woo. Sorry, I love hearts. All right, so 3 super simple, easy go-to meals, right? And they're not processed. It's not from a box or anything like that. So you know that it's going to be loaded with lots of great stuff. I'm not wearing my headphones again. Can you hear me okay? I'll put them in if you need it. So if for something comes up and you're like, put your headphones on, then I'll put them on. But I'm just going to keep going. So, number 1, this one we hear about all the time. Super easy to hear about. Smoothies. I know. They are over talked about. Some people are like, ugh, I don't want to hear about smoothies anymore. But it's true. And my number 1 favorite thing to put into a smoothie is avocado. It's a great way to get that healthy fat into your body. And all it really does is make it creamy. So if you really like a nice creamy beverage or ice cream or milkshake, right, you can really play up the avocado. Obviously keeping in mind ratios, but this is where most of my fat comes from, is when I throw my avocado into my smoothie. So that's how I balance it, and it's just a life changer. Really, it really is. When you throw that in and have a smoothie for breakfast, it's super amazing. So Tony says he loves avocado. Yes, avocados are amazing. Not everybody loves them, but they are super nutrient rich, and they are one of the best ways to get healthy fats into your body. And throwing it into a smoothie is great because you don't taste it at all. It literally just changes the texture to make it a little bit more creamy, which tends to be a preferred desired consistency anyways, over like a sloshy kind of some really high fruit smoothies can end up being more like a slush, and the avocado keeps that creamy texture to it. So that's my number one. You can do all kinds of wonderful things with the smoothies. Again, kind of try to stay away from the juices because that's a lot of calories and a lot of sugar for the amount that you would need in a smoothie. So I tend to go with more of a nut milk. But there's also like oat milks and is another good option if you can't do nuts. But smoothies are an amazing go-to. They literally, you can load all kinds of things in there and they're super fast. Number two, this is one of my other favorite go-tos, is salad in a jar. So this requires, especially like being a teacher or going to an office job, right? If you have access to a refrigerator, it's even easier because you can bring them all with you on Monday and then bring them all home Friday. If you don't have access to a refrigerator, they still keep really well in a lunchbox. It's a salad in a jar, and I put salad in quotation marks because you don't have to have a lot of lettuce or kale to actually make this really nutritious. I know that Colleen keeps mentioning her avocado and zucchini that she really likes. Those can be thrown in there. And so there's a really cool like diagram that shows you how to layer it. And you can throw all kinds of fruits and vegetables and protein, crunchy things, nuts, seeds, all that good stuff. And you can put it into ratios of however much you want. And so, like I said, if you're not big on the lettuce aspect of it, that can be a smaller portion, but you could put in a lot of peppers if you like sweet peppers or bell peppers, right? Or carrots, zucchini, cucumbers, beets, whatever, whatever amounts of different types of vegetables in there. You could even, if you wanted to do more fruit flavored. So you can really play with it, and you kind of can set it out for the week and have them all ready to go. So just like one time you have to make food, and then you just layer it in. And if you want it even more simple, which costs a little bit more, but if you want it a little bit more simply, you can buy all the fruits and vegetables pre-cut and washed. And then you just kind of fill them in your little jars, stick them in your fridge, pull them out, and they last about 6 days. And so that's like perfect. You make 5 for the week, and you can just literally grab a jar and stick it in your lunchbox and go. And you're like set for lunch. So it's super easy go-to. The other option that's nice, like especially in the winter time, is you can do the same concept but soup in a jar. And that's a fun one too. So, and then all you would need is access to hot water. And you can put it in before you go, or if you have like a teapot, or if you're working from home, you have access to it. You just pour hot water in and it's ready to go. Again, simple levels. So if you want more information about those, I can, send you some information about them. But those are 2 super simple. All you need is like 5 mason jars, and you can fill it up with whatever you want. And you can make it vegan, you can make it vegetarian, you can make it pescatarian, you could make it completely carnivore. Throw in a few vegetables, however you want to play with it. And so they're just super cool. And it totally beats like getting super sodium high in-store processed boxed meals to go, right? Like it takes a little bit of prep work one night, Sunday night, but then you're set, and then it's just super simple. And then my last one for simple meals, I call it my glass pan meal, because it's literally what I do. I tend to cook for myself all the time. and separate things for my kids because they're super picky. And that's a totally different storyline right there, right? But the glass pan meal basically is you get your protein. And so this could be, if you're vegan, obviously chickpeas, or whatever protein you prefer, right? Out of the tofu. Some people don't do tofu, even though it's vegan. They don't like tofu or soy. Your choice of your protein, right? Chicken, fish. Fish is usually my go-to because I'm pescatarian. But yeah, so you pick your protein, right? And you stick it on one side of the pan. And I usually do mine frozen. So this makes it even more simple. So you can buy it fresh and cook it fresh. But if you are super busy on the go like me, it's easy to have this stuff stocked in the freezer. You pull out your portion, you stick it on the pan, then you throw in a bunch of vegetables on the other side that are frozen, because I'm telling you, this is such a simple meal. It's ridiculous. And then I use avocado oil because avocado oil does better in heat. It doesn't transfer into there's a whole science of the fats break down in olive oil and other oils. Coconut has more of a flavor. So if you like coconutty flavor, then that one's still a good one, but avocado does better at high heats. So that's why I use avocado oil. So you put the protein in, you put the frozen vegetables in, you literally just drizzle a little bit of avocado oil, and then you season it to taste. So whatever seasoning you like. Again, if you do your dosha, there's good seasonings that really balance out your different body types. And so that really helps pick out what kind of seasonings you can be using to help balance your body. So for me, being a pitta, cumin and turmeric are really good at anti-inflammatory, very kind of calming the system down. I also really like garlic, black pepper. That's another one of my favorites. And so just basic seasonings, right? On top of there, you can do, you can do lemon, if you can do citrus. I always feel so sad when I say all my citrus stuff because Colleen can't do citrus. Lemon if you can, you know, that kind of thing. So literally, you stick that in a glass pan and you stick it in the oven, and it cooks for 15-20 minutes, depending on how big your protein portion is, right? Sometimes I use scallops, sometimes chickpeas, you know, so it really depends, but it's literally just bake it in the oven. And then you can go do other things, and then it goes off and you pull it out and you stick it on your plate, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This beautiful meal cooked in the oven. And you did nothing. It took it literally takes 2 minutes to make this dish, and then it, you know, obviously waiting, but you set it up to where you do it, and then you can go take your makeup off from the day, or you know, walk the dog for 20 minutes and then come back in. You know what I mean? It's super simple, and then you put it on a plate and you eat it. It is a low carb diet, a low carb meal. You can throw in a carb in there if you desire. It's just an easy go-to meal for me, and because I usually tend to do a lot of green beans or asparagus when I do it, so those are really rich vegetables. They're very filling. Broccoli is another one I'll throw in there sometimes, because they're such high fiber, they're actually pretty hard carb in and of themselves as well. I don't tend to need a carb with it, like a bread or a grain, that kind of carb is what I mean. I don't do it, like I said, I'm not doing it to avoid those. It's just really the super simple go-to meal that is really filling and nourishing. Let's see. I was a pescatarian for 3 years before going vegan, was a sushi-holic. Tempeh is better than regular soy. Yeah, avocado oil. Yes. I've never had, or I don't think I've ever purchased tempeh. I don't even think I'm saying that right, but I know of it. Yes, I'm a sushi-aholic. So what I just was talking about, those are the 3 things, simple go-to meals that I have, all right? So they just save time, They save energy, and they can be super loaded with amazing nutrition, and seasoned and flavored and varied however you want to. So they don't have, even though you might have a smoothie for breakfast, a salad in a jar for lunch, and a glass pan dinner every night, 5 nights in a row, they can all be very, very different. So it doesn't mean you have to be on, like, it's one taste, right? Like, it can be varied so super easily, right? So that you can still get that love and excitement from different flavors. Now, if you have time to make other meals, go for it. These ones right here, I just wanted to put on the list for making it simple, for that time saver, right? So these are the three go-to time-saving simple meals that can be done very, very healthily, okay? Number 2. All right, these are three missing, very, very much so missing nutritional components in especially American diets, but very Western societies as a whole too. Omegas, magnesium, and vitamin D. Okay, so all 3 of these can be found, let's use proper English here, can be found in foods, right? There are foods that are high in this. Some foods might be harder to do. So if, for instance, fish is known to be one of the biggest proponents, right, that houses omegas and vitamin D. We don't eat a lot of fish as a whole. I eat a lot of fish, but as a whole of society, we don't eat a lot of fish. So people tend to be lower in these areas. The other one that's good for vitamin D is mushrooms. Not a lot of people are fans of mushrooms from what I've met. I love mushrooms. I know some people who love mushrooms, but again, it's not one of those foods that are super, super fond of by many people, right? Magnesium, this is found in your nuts, your seeds, and your cacao. So I love dark chocolate. It's high in magnesium. It's one of the reasons why I allow myself to eat it, because I'm like, I need magnesium. I'm getting my magnesium fix. But also nut allergies are big right now. And so that could be one reason why people aren't getting it. Or they're just stuck on like peanut butter as their nuts intake. Yeah, you know, it's processed. So not as high in peanut butter as it would be in raw nuts, right? So again, these are not foods that are super sought after. There are omegas from plants. Again, they're not plants that are eaten very often. So that's why these 3 tend to be kind of low. Vitamin D, there's also can be gotten from the sun. So living in Florida, we tend to get more vitamin D in that sense, but it still requires proper nutrition and balance, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But so these 3 are the big ones because they can cause an imbalance of omegas can cause inflammation and other heart factors and brain things. I'm not going to get into all of that. You like my simplified vernacular for tonight, right? I'm trying to make it simple. We're not getting all sciencey tonight. So omegas getting the right amount of omegas is good for your heart, your brain, and your maintaining your anaphylactic and your inflammation and stuff within your body, right? Magnesium is awesome for keeping your mood balanced. It's super necessary for your muscular system. And vitamin D is also another one for energy, your muscles, and mood as well. So there's that. So there are really good vitamin D and magnesium supplements out there. There are some that are not good at all, so don't just run to the drugstore and go pick out something. Magnesium and vitamin D are ones if you're not getting the right amounts of food quality, this is when your doctor's going to have to check your levels. A naturopathic doctor is going to push it more if you're in the low end. The more westernized doctor is going to be like, oh, you're in range, you're fine. But if you are having any kind of issue with nerves or muscles or fatigue or depression or any of those kind of symptoms, if you're feeling those and your blood work comes back kind of low in magnesium and or vitamin D, I really suggest that you talk to your doctor, because I can't prescribe it. I can't say you need to take it. But I would really, really have that discussion with your doctor about it, because you don't really want to be sitting in the low range if you are having any kind of issues that a deficiency in those vitamins could help support. Okay. So for me, I have fibromyalgia. Magnesium is top of the list of some things I definitely need to get in. Also, being a pitta and having fibromyalgia, I have a lot of inflammation. I have bursitis and tendinitis diagnoses back a couple years ago, right? So omegas, that balance of omegas is super important for me. Ground flaxseed for omega-3. Thoughts? Keep it simple. Yes, actually I have it on here. So you got right to it, Tony. Awesome. So magnesium and vitamin D, if you're not able to get it from the plants, which they're in, but again, not everybody eats all of the plants that are there, or fish, right? So those ones can be found in good supplement form. Omegas, chia, flax, and hemp seeds are really, really good for omegas. Okay? Flaxseed, yes, ground it up in like one of those little coffee grinders before throwing it into your smoothie. But chia, flax, and hemp seed can all be like simply thrown into that daily morning smoothie, or if you have it for lunch or dinner, whenever you have your smoothie, right? The hemp also can taste pretty good in your salad in a jar, just so you know. Hemp, it just has like a fun little crunchy texture to it. So that's keeping it simple. If you have a little container of ground flax, you can throw that into your shakes or smoothies in the morning. Super simple way of getting more omegas. There are omega supplements, and the thing I'm going to get to in a minute here, we actually have a vegan omega supplement, so that you can get if you need more omega, if you feel like you're not getting enough. Right? I can't go without salmon. I can't. So that's me. Hi, Mar. All right. So number 3, keeping it simple. Fruits and vegetables. All right. 9 to 13 servings a day is the recommended daily dose of fruits and vegetables, and you need a wide variety to get all the different types of phytonutrients found within different types of plants and fruits. Well, fruits are plants. You know what I mean. Plants. So, what is the definition of a serving size? A serving size is the size of your fist. All right? So, you need 9 to 13 of these servings of fruits and vegetables a day. I don't get that. I try, but I can tell you I don't get that. If you're getting that, kudos to you. It's absolutely amazing. So for number 3, this is my biggest suggestion. When you are making a plate, you want it, I say eat the rainbow. You want your plate to be as colorful as possible, because that means you're getting that variety of different phytonutrients. All right? It can be really difficult to get the 9 to 13 servings, but it makes a huge difference in your body. So the simplest change that I made, there is a nutritional product that I use. It's called Juice Plus. It is made out of all whole fruits and vegetables. They juice it in mass production, so it's like having a juicer at home. But if you've ever had a juicer, or if you've ever watched anybody juice fruits and vegetables, they spend an hour to get like this little like 8-ounce glass of slush. That's what it looks like to me. Anyways, I ain't got time for that, and I'm going to use my southern twang right there. I ain't got time for that. So, absolutely amazing to juice. Not knocking juicing at all. It is so amazing for your body. I know so many people who have celery juice and carrot juice, and they're thriving. They add a little bit zest of lemon, and they can throw all different kinds of things in there, and their skin's clearer, and blah, 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 right? You're looking at 3 hours a day to do a good juicing for multiple times a day, right? And the cost of all that produce is insane, because most of it doesn't even end up in that little glass jar. And if you're trying to do this for a large family, you're looking at an even bigger bill and a very big mess. So I have friends who have tried it, moms of 4 or 5 kids, and they're trying to clean this and juice for this kid, and this kid doesn't like that flavor, and this kid likes this flavor, and it's a lot. So I came across Juice Plus about 2 years ago. It's completely done in the factory, so they are very particular about where they get their fruits and vegetables from, when they're picked, they're vine ripen, so just at the right time. They're not picked early and then sitting on a truck and, you know, sent to the grocery store like most of our produce in America. And then they juice it. So it goes to the juicer with the rinds, which most of us, I don't eat the rinds of like a lemon. Right? And so they put the whole vegetable, the whole fruit in there. It gets juiced, it gets dehydrated at a low temperature, and they put them in these little capsules. And so that's the simplest thing I've ever done. I only started it because my kids are super picky. I couldn't get them to eat fruits and vegetables to save my life. And then I started taking it, and I had, like I said, I had a very clean diet, and a healthy relationship with food. I had changed over to a very non-toxic living, and I was doing better because I had been very, very unhealthily in my fibromyalgia, in my inflammation, in rheumatoid arthritis and degenerative disc disease. Like, the list just kept growing, all the things they kept telling me was wrong with my body. And that was super frustrating and annoying because I had been healthy my whole life. None of my blood work came back bad, ever. Like, my blood pressure was amazing, my weight was always maintained, you know, so it was so frustrating to me to end up in this place where I ended up bedridden for an entire month in 2013. I could not get out of bed. I was in such excruciating pain. And so I had slowly done all this stuff for my health. And so this was 2 years ago, and I was up and I was working, and I still had some flare-up days, and there were still some, you know, mood things that I was dealing with. But for the most part, I was functioning, but I was not thriving. And so I started taking the Juice Plus because an adult can sponsor a kid for free. And so I got my kids on it, and I got it for them because I'm like, they won't eat fruits and vegetables. I'm trying. I started them, did it perfectly when they were younger, and then they get to elementary school, and the kids are like, here, eat Doritos, eat this. And my kids are like, I don't want any of your healthy food anymore. All that parenting jazz, right? And I started taking it because they were on it. Within a year of being on it, it was night and day. I was full of energy. My skin was super radiant. My hair was like, I could go on. Allergies were gone. You know what I mean? Like, it was incredible because what it is doing is just a simple gap for when we don't hit that 9 to 13 servings a day. And when we are coming out of this negative relationship with food, this yo-yo dieting, or this, not understanding eating for our body type, all the things that we've been learning this week, right? When we're coming out of that season and we're readjusting our body, it's just that nice little bridge. It's a super 30-second way of getting over 30 fruits and vegetables worth of phytonutrients into your body, so your cells have a fighting chance. And that was a game changer for my life. Like, absolutely game changer for my life. Now people, are telling me, you need to go to bed. You need to get... What are you doing? Why are you up doing the yoga? You have fibromyalgia. You say you have fibromyalgia. Why are you doing this, right? How are you doing this? And how do you have so much energy? You're a single mom who works all the time, and you have kids to take care of, and you don't drink coffee. Like, what's wrong with you? And it's not what's wrong with me. It's that this simple change has drastically affected my health. And so I could go on more about it, but I'm not going to get onto it too much. It's just, I want you to be aware of what I did. If you want to know more about it, I can definitely send you more information. It is the #1 most researched health supplement out there. FDA doesn't even consider it a supplement. It is literally food. It has an FDA food label. It is NSF approved for athletes. I know we have 2 United States of America sports that use that solely for their athletes. It is recommended by doctors. Like, it is incredible. And it's simple. All right, so that's all I'm going to say on that. That's the nutritional product that I've added into my life, and it has been night or day for us. And so there's that. So, so 3 simple things. Easy to go meals that don't take up a lot of time, right? Those are my 3 favorite go-tos. 4, if you count soup in a jar, is separate from salad in a jar. It's basically a meal in a jar, right? And then 2, making sure you're getting omegas and magnesium and vitamin D. It will have such a huge difference on your health and your well-being. And then 3, eat the rainbow. Make your plates as colorful as possible, and aim for that 9 to 13 servings. And if you want more information about the simple change that I made to get over 30 fruits and vegetables worth of phytonutrients every single day, then I can get that to you as well. Okay? So, super simple, right? I made that super simple. All right, it's time for us to more than just survive. We were made to thrive. Exactly, right? So, and like I said, I had been an athlete. I had all this knowledge about eating well and eating intuitively and mindfully and respecting my body and nourishing it. And even then, it's very challenging to get 9 to 13 servings of raw, whole fruits and vegetables of a super wide variety, right? Maybe when my kids are older, it'll be a little bit easier to prepare these meals and really make them look pretty and all that jazz. But right now, I know this is time, energy, and super healthy, made simple. Like I said, like it to be simple, like it to be easy, or at least less time consuming. All right. So that's my Make It Simple day 4. We made it through the second video without being kicked off. Yay! So are there any questions? I think I drank all my water. I drank all my water. All right, so awesome. All right, so we're there. I want to shift over into what I do and how I can become more apt in going further. So we have one more day together. We have tomorrow, right? Day 5. And we're going to be talking a little bit more about accountability, and a couple other little fun little add in tidbits there about your health and your relationship with food. But I really want to kind of jump into what I do. Okay, so I am a certified mind-body health coach. The things and tips and tricks that I've given you this week is a plethora of information. I mean, we could go even farther down, but you know, I still have given you tons and tons of information, and you can take this information and run with it and be really successful, right? But if you are looking for more, if you're, you know, we're coming to day 5 and you're starting to think there's a lot to this, it would be nice to have accountability. That's what I do. As a health coach, I come alongside of you. So just like any other, like a sports coach, you know, the top athletes in the world don't get to a point where they say, oh, I know this sport, I don't need a coach anymore. They still have a coach, right? And that's what a health coach does. We come alongside you. I would come alongside you, and I would help you tweak and work and have that accountability. I am a sounding board for the goals and expectations and things that you want to happen. And I'm able to honestly and openly meet you where you're at, work through, tweak, you know, meal plans, and those kind of things. I can also, the fact that I am a yoga instructor and have years being a gymnastics coach, I also have the pleasure of adding in any kind of movement and that kind of thing within there as well. So it's not just the psychology aspect, it's not just the nutrition aspect, it's not just the fitness aspect. I can speak to all 3 of those. As well as being a certified essential oils coach, I also am able to speak to the beautiful power of plants and how they can be utilized to support your mind, body, and soul through essential oils. And that is just a fun little extra. It's using plants in a different way than just eating them, and it's superb for your body, right? So typically my coaching package is a 12 weeks, which is 90 days. It takes 90 days for your body to completely become a whole new body. Your cells regenerate over a 90-day period. So 90 days from today, you're going to have entirely new cells than what you have right now. So you're literally a whole new person in 90 days than what you are right now. All the cells that you have right now are going to eventually die off and regenerate into new cells. And isn't that crazy to think that you literally are physically a totally different person 90 days from now? So that's pretty cool, right? And so I usually do it over 12 weeks. Those can be broken up into one-on-one every single 12 weeks, or if you just want to do it every other week, that's another possibility. But I charge over the 12-week span because you have that option. If there's a week where you're like, I'm doing really good this week, awesome. And then there's a week where you're like, I'm a little stressed out, can we meet twice? Or if it's like, okay, I have this event coming up and I really need to get ready and prepared myself mentally, or is there a dish that I can prepare and bring myself? We can have those kind of conversations as well. So it's over a 12-week span so that you have that full 90 days to readjust eating habits, see your body changing, feel things happening, right?